Alrighty, good morning, day, afternoon, whatever the case may be. Mr. Gatekeeper here for another repair. And this one is a very, very clean amplifier. It is a Palomar 250. Kind of like the same thing as a 225. I don't see much difference, to be honest with you, but it's a Palomar 250. AB bias, automatic sideband. Thing I like about this amp is with these particular amps with the silk screen, about every one I ever find where the screws go into is just the silk screen is ripped from people putting the screws on it way too hard. You're only supposed to put it on there just snug enough, and this one right here is in almost perfect condition. There's no rips at all, and it's just in a great condition box. And the reason I was just going to keep this one for myself, but I have 4 of these total. I'm gonna keep another one instead of this one. I got another one that's even in better condition, which yeah, it does like 20 more watts, so I'm gonna keep that one. But with this being in such good condition, that's why I'm going ahead and use some new pills. I think these are the last new 455s that I had. Let me show them to you here real quick. And at first glance, they look like 2 different type of 455s. Let's see if we can get in here. Let me just focus in here. Hold on. There you go. See if I can zoom in from up this way. There we go. And you see one lot is RR06, 9516, the other's 9517. They both match. They're both matched pretty well. I guess you can call them different lots, but they're only one off. And I don't really understand about the right. You know, I've seen some 455s with smaller right and bigger right, and I really don't. I guess they're just made at different times. But these are just 2 oddball 455s I had that were brand new that match. So that's why I used them. So keep that in mind while bidding on this amp. There are brand new transistors. I always like to let you know if they're brand new or used. Alrighty, and this was a repair. I didn't have to do much to this amp, but I did have to rework the RF section. These particular amps, the way the RF rolls in them, see if I can get this light in here, right down in here. See if I can get something to point with. Here we go. Right down in here. Right there. That's where the RF leaves the relay to go on to the input circuit, the input transformer. Now, the way it is by factory, the RF just goes on straight to the input transformer, and then you have a wire that's soldered right here that goes all the way this way to the switch. Then you have a wire from this side of the switch and a wire from this side of the switch that go to the board right here by factory. One goes there, one goes there. You get like a 27 ohm right here that goes to ground, and a 150 ohm here that goes to ground. Now, I don't know why this is. I have not learned yet. I don't know everything, man. I'm learning as I go here. I don't know why it is yet, but some amps just don't seem to respond well to having the resistors in parallel like that. Sorry about the phone getting out of focus and everything. But some of them don't react well to having the resistors in parallel that well. And to be honest with you, there was no difference to high, low, and medium. And everything was working right. The switch was switching right. The switch wasn't, you know, messing off, not touching poles. It all was working just fine. So what I done is I changed the RF circuit and put resistors in series. And as you follow, this right here would be the very first wire. This comes up, hooks to the switch. which is the input, the RF coming from the relay into the switch, and then leaves the switch right here via this orange wire right on here on into the input. So basically, I got two 100 ohm resistors. When you put it in high, it doesn't go through any of the resistors and just flows through the switch back. When you put it in low, it flows through just one of the 100 ohms by itself. I was going to use 5 watts, but they honestly were a little bit too big just to put on here, and I just went with this. They seem to be holding up just fine. You're only dealing with the input RF you're putting through it. So on low, it's going through 100 ohm by itself, and it's not going through the second one. Then on medium, it's going through both 100 ohms in parallel, creating 50 ohms. So you got 100 ohms on the low, 50 on the medium, and 0 on the high. The reason I did not put another resistor to give it maybe like 10 ohms or whatever resistance on the high is this amp has a good enough, it's got a good enough spectrum, I'll show you with the dead keys, to where you can just use high for a lower wattage radio, a 10 watt radio or something like that. And so, you know, it worked pretty well like that. Didn't see no need in it. So let's go ahead and show you what it's doing. Oh, one last thing I had to do to repair this, which was the main thing. This amp sat over here for the longest time. I even almost gave up on it all the way to where I actually put this amp on eBay broke to sell it because I needed some money. And I'm glad it didn't sell. I'm glad it did not sell. Because I'm going to go ahead and let you know. This cap right here. Let's get this light down here. See, actually, yeah, let's hold it right there in the magnifying. This cap right here. See that cap right there? That cap right there is actually hooked into the AB bias circuit. That cap, this leg of the cap was soldered right here in this lead on the board. I don't know if you can see it that well. There's a little solder hole right there. And that right there is actually touching the output RF coming out of the RF transformer. So what it was doing was putting B plus positive voltage into the output of the RF and just putting the amp on its ass completely. I don't know why somebody done that, but I got 4 other of these amps and I just never noticed it. I never noticed it till I looked down and saw it. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And I put it right there and then boom, we were good to go. I went ahead and did what I normally do with any amps like this, and I replaced all the keying transistors, the general purpose transistors for the preamp and the keying circuit. And the preamp works just fine as well. So that's what I had to do to repair that booger. Let's go ahead and get this done. This video is getting a little long. Alrighty. Gonna be putting the 20 watts as usual. Audio. Alright, I'm gonna flip it on real quick. Go through this real quick. We're on 13.8, 13.9 volts. Now I want to show you the differences in the dead keys. Now here's another thing. Since I had to do the RF this way, it does not follow up with the low, medium, high. The middle is low. Okay, the middle is low. To the right is high. And over to the left is medium. So it's kind of, you know, switched backwards there. High's right there, low's right here, and medium's right here. That's just how I had to do it to fix it there. Alright, I'm going to show you the difference of the dead key. I'm putting a 1 watt dead key into it. And here's what it creates on low. 15 watts. Alright, now watch this. This is what it creates on high. 37 watts. And here's what it creates on, that's what it creates on medium, excuse me. That's what it creates on medium. This is what it creates on high. 100 watts. Alright. Let's show you what it's doing on low. Audio. Oh, check. Audio. Alright, 155. Let's show you what it's doing on medium. Oh, audio. 190 to 200. Let's show you what it's doing on high. About 240, which is right there on the mark almost, being a 250. Here's the reflect, 10 watt slug. Hardly don't even move. That's like 50 milliwatts. All right, let's bump it up to 15.4 volts real quick. Alrighty, 15.3 volts. 15.3 volts. That's about 280. Reflect still looks good, still looks good, reflect still looks good. Alrighty, SWR rises up just a little bit when you turn the volts up like that, but it still ain't that bad. Well, there you go, good Palomar 250 in great condition. Great condition, as you can see. Brand new peels. It's hard not to keep this one, y'all. It's gonna make a good home for somebody. Good little driver with the dead keys the way they are. Don't forget, anybody got any broke amps? Any broke amps out there y'all don't need? Cheap broke amps, holler at me. Email is 3manpro, THREEMAN, P as in purple, RO, 3manpro at gmail.com. Need transformers, power supplies, whatever, bass amps, 25 to 100 amp, holler at me. I got you. Best prices you can find. And I believe that is it. Also, one last thing I do want to throw in there. A lot of people are sending me comments and replies and such, and I just want to apologize for not being able to get back with you right then. I don't know why in the living world this YouTube app on this $600 phone does not allow me to respond back to comments. I don't get it. It just never has. It won't let me do it. I got to go get on the laptop and do it, and I just hadn't had time to get on lately. So y'all just be patient with me. Holler at me if you need any repairs or anything like that. Mr. Gatekeeper out here in the backwoods of Georgia. And we just got down.